Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm No More Op4 out in the woods today for another in the field gear test. Today looking at Katadyn's Hiker Pro water filter. And as you just saw in the video, I was filling up my canteen right from this little stream here. And for anybody that spends a significant amount of time out in the woods, having a water filter like this can make your life a lot simpler because you don't have to boil water. I don't really personally like to rely on those tablets because it makes the water taste terrible. To me, I'd rather either boil it or have something like a water filter to use. You look at a stream like this, and I'm sure anybody that spends time out in the woods, you know, you've got a stream just like this in the woods you frequent, and it looks clean. It looks really clean, actually. And you might be tempted to drink out of it if your water bottle happens to run out, but it's really a bad idea, and you're really taking a chance anytime you drink out of a stream like this, because not 5 feet away, when we were walking in, we saw a lot of deer scat all over the place. And to drink water out of a place like this, you're really taking a risk of getting Giardia or Amoebic dysentery. And just like Wu-Tang Clan, that's not something you want to fuck with, because that will mess you up. Put you in the hospital for sure, and it can damn near kill you if you don't get medical attention fast enough. So even though it looks clean, you got to be really careful with the water, and you need to either boil it, treat it, or have a water filter like this. Alright guys, back here for the tabletop portion of this review with the Katadyn Hiker Pro water filter. And again, this is a water filter designed for someone that's concerned with biological contaminants. So not viruses. If you're concerned with viruses you may encounter somewhere in like a third world country like hepatitis or any other virus really, this is not going to filter out viruses. This only filters out biological contaminants. So if you're worried about cholera or typhoid or amoebic dysentery, E. coli, Cryptosporidium, Giardia, those are the types of bacteria that this is good for filtering for. If you are concerned about viruses, you're going to need to invest in the little tablets that will purify that. I believe Katadyn's brand are called Micro-Pure, and they're pretty inexpensive from what I remember. So the nice thing about the Katadyn Hiker Pro is that it is maintenanceable in the field or at home. Not a lot involved in that. You can help extend the life of the filter by actually cleaning the filter itself, and you extend the cartridge life, which is nice. About 48 strokes a minute will provide about a liter of clean drinking water. It's pretty powerful, as you saw in the video. You know, it's got a pretty powerful stream, so you can fill up your whether you're drinking out of a bladder or you're using just a water bottle, canteen, something like that. You will be able to kind of move on pretty quickly, which is nice because it gives you more time to do other things you're out in the woods to do. Filter physically removes particles and bacteria, protozoa, as I talked about, down to 0.3 microns. So again, for biological contaminants, not for viruses. But if you're in the U.S. just camping, most of the U.S. you don't have to worry about viruses. Now there are some parts that are starting to be a little bit of a concern with hepatitis and things like that, but for a majority of the hikers, campers, backpackers, backcountry wilderness people that are looking at this product, you're going to be okay with just the biological filter. One thing I would recommend, and I didn't do this in the initial video, was you may want to use a coffee filter or a bandana. I usually have a bandana or some other, like a little silk cloth or something like that, to cover this, just to help a little bit with the sediment. You saw how dirty the water was in the video. It was still, as far as I could tell, there was no sediment that made it into the cup, but just something to help prevent, and you can also save the filter a little bit as well. I like when companies get the little details right, like including the packaging to make things easier. It gives you this little pack. It gives you a separate bag for the outlet hose so you keep it from getting contaminated. It's got adapters to use with either a canteen or your hydration bladder, as we talked about. It's easy to clean and service. You can unscrew the filter. You can take this apart very easily and clean it. Again, makes the overall life of the cartridge last longer. And it's simple. It's not complicated. You know? Speaking to cost, this unit I believe is about $80 as of fall 2014. I believe it's about $80. So it's not like something you pick up for $20. So for me, there was a significant amount of research that went into which filter I wanted, because there are a lot of filters. And there are a lot of other ways to purify your water. Everybody that watches my channel knows that on a lot of my trips, I'm primarily a boil your water guy. I don't really like using chemical tablets, because when I'm out in the mountains, I want to taste that damn mountain stream, and I don't want chalky water that tastes like ass. So boiling is good for me. But, I'm really starting to like this water filter. I finally made the purchase and said, hey, you know what? I've been boiling water for a long time. Let's try it. Technology seems to have made this easy for me, so let's give it a shot. But I digress. Back to costs, a little bit of an initial investment, but the filters are not that expensive. And also the system is designed to kind of prevent you from having to constantly change out parts. For example, the pre-filter in the inlet hose filters to 150 microns, so that removes a lot of the contaminants before they even get to the main filter, which increases obviously the lifespan that this will go before you have to replace it. Depending on the water conditions that you're dealing with, the Katadyn, excuse me, I'm always switching those two. It is Katadyn. I did verify that. I'm sorry. I've heard it both ways. I had to confirm which way it was. It is Katadyn. I think I probably said it both ways at this point, but I do apologize for that. But the Katadyn Hiker Pro's water filter should, again, depending on water conditions, probably last you about 300 gallons before you're going to have to replace the filter. So that is pretty significant. You've got to be getting out there a lot to go through 300 gallons. That is a pretty long lifespan, which does, again, kind of spread the cost out of replacing filters. And a little bit of an initial investment, but it's designed to last you a long time. All right, that's really about it. Just final specs. Again, it is pretty small and pretty lightweight. Approximately 11 ounces if I recall correctly when I weighed it on the scale. About 6.5 by 3 inches. Total hose length is 36 inches, so that does give you some room to work with. You're not having to get in the water yourself to get this filter to work, which is nice. It does have this little flotation anchor here, which is also helpful from keeping this from settling in the bottom of the stream and getting extra silt. But again, very small, compact package. Very nice that it comes with a bag. I like to keep this on one of the side compartments of my pack so it's easy to access. You don't have to dismount the whole pack and go through the whole pack every time you want to pump some water. If I do have a front pack on, it is in the front pack. But again, overall great system, guys. I'm happy I went with this choice. Again, a little bit of an investment. More so than some of the other things we talk about, but this will definitely not let you down. Water quality excellent, and when I use this in the woods, I am not worried about getting sick, and that's really what it all comes down to. Enjoying the time when you're out there, enjoying the water that's out there, and the taste that you get of that mountain water, as you all know, is awesome. Hate to ruin it with any type of chemicals or tablets, so for me, water filters or boiling, guys. They've converted me from boiling only, but I'll tell you what, this filter, it's awesome, and it was a very easy conversion for me. So, but that's it for me, guys. If you haven't checked out my channel, please do that. Guns, gear, bushcraft hunting, that's what we do. I'm No More Off For. As always, stay safe. I'm out. Please be sure to rate and comment on the video you just viewed. For more videos on guns, gear, bushcraft, and hunting, please be sure to subscribe to No More Op For by clicking the channel icon. You can also see a link to last week's video, as well as a preview to next week's upcoming video. The link to next week's video will go live once the video is posted, typically every Friday evening. Thanks for watching and subscribing to No More Op For's YouTube channel.